Well, good evening, everybody, and special guest tonight, Mr. Paul Thorpe. Paul, you're very welcome. How are you?
Very well, thank you, mate. I was hoping to surprise a few people, but it's just me and you again, Rich.
It is. Well, actually, we do have
familiar faces.
We do have a special guest. He's not here in person, but we've got a video of him, right? So we've got we've got a video of Mr. Don Keith. So we'll play that a little bit later on. So we're not going to get done under the Trade Description Acts. There are some guests here. It's just they're not here live. Okay.
Yeah.
Not everyone can do it live like we do, Paul. Do you know what I mean, mate? Anyway, Paul, what do you think about the news today?
I'm delighted. I've got to be honest with you. I'm not surprised. Not because I had faith in the justice system, but because I thought their case was so weak. I mean, come on. They're taking the piss.
It's pathetically weak, and obviously we'll talk about the legal ramifications for this later on. And actually, Paul, this might affect the prevent strategy itself. This is how deep this could go. So It's going to be very, very interesting to see what happens next. Because, and again, we'll talk about it later, but I think the prevent strategy is actually breaking the law as well. And we'll have a look at that.
We'll go for it. Before we go any further, Richie, can I just issue a quick apology? Apparently, I missed a couple of super chats the other night. My moderator Ian tells me, "Thank you for letting me know, Ian. If I did miss a couple, sincere apologies. Carry on, mate." But we're streaming from Rich's channel tonight. So
we're streaming from my channel. So if anyone misses any super chats, it's going to be me. But Paul will have to give me a commission for sharing his super chats. So
I actually only said that because if you make a right noise up on the show, I can blame you and not me.
Mate, everybody blames me for everything, Paul. So it's nothing new. It's just my lot, mate. You know what I mean? But I mean, I put that photograph up there, Paul, because the pressure Tommy's been under. He had the guy that attacked him. He defended himself, and they were going to charge him with GBH Section 18, I think it was, potential life sentence. Then he had bounced straight out of that, got that out of the way, bounced straight into this court case after doing an amazing job in Israel. I must say his coverage in Israel was absolutely second to none, world class. And as soon as he gets back, he's straight into the crosshairs of the deep state yet again. And that, I believe that picture is before he went into the court. And the strain on his face there is telling.
Yeah.
And you know yourself, Paul, you go into these situations, and if you get the wrong judge, he's going behind the door. But that's the least of his worries, because what concerned me and what concerns me about all of this misuse of terrorism legislation, if you have a terrorism conviction against your name, not only does it affect you, but it affects all of your known associates. That includes me and you, Paul, and all the guys that do security for Tommy, and all the people that do everything in the background. Everybody. And what that means is the state then has a supposedly legitimate reason to come after everybody in the circle. And I think in regards to what's happened to you, what's happened to Danny, and what's happened to me with people from the terrorist branch and all these sneaky beaky agencies coming and sniffing around, I think that's the justification that they're using.
Absolutely.
Tommy was on a terrorism charge, and we were known associates, which, to be honest with you, Paul, is taking absolute liberties. And what I'm hoping from this is that a precedent is set, and next time I've because of what happened to me at the airport on 2 occasions, I haven't flown since, right? And I would have probably gone to there was a demo in London tomorrow. I'd have probably gone to that. I'd have maybe gone to his court case. I'd have maybe gone to the one on the 6th in Birmingham. But I'm just going, do you know what? I'm just not going to offer myself up like that. Plenty to be doing over here, and so I think there's a mass. This could be a massive watershed in our movement.
Well, I'm very tempted myself now to fly back and see what happens, but...
well, you're getting nicked, Paul. Doesn't matter. Even you're getting nicked, mate.
I'm very tempted to fly back and give it a try, but, you just don't want the bloody hassle, do you?
You don't want the hassle. I think the precedent has been set here, Paul. And if you flew back, I think you could quite easily just be exactly the same as Tommy and say, look, I mean, I'll be honest with you, if I fly anywhere now, I'm taking a phone with that's got just not that there's anything dodgy on any of my phones, but I'm taking a phone with me that has about 3 phone numbers in it and nothing else. Be honest with you.
Yeah.
Just because I don't trust them, Paul. I don't trust them, and that's the problem.
No, when you carry your life on your phone in many respects,
you do.
Your debit and your credit cards, you got all your family's numbers, you got all your appointments. You know, to have your phone taken like that is a huge inconvenience. But Richard, you're right. I mean, watching Tommy today, he seemed very stressed. You know, it's like he looked not a man that's on the edge, but he didn't look as in control as he normally is. I think he's really frustrated.
I agree. Let's have a little look at what he said before he went in the court, Paul, and just, you know, again in the comments, let us know what you think about Tommy's demeanor, about the way he's looking to me to be a man under pressure. Now, obviously, hopefully that pressure's lifted now, but let's have a look at this.
Now, so it doesn't matter. Axel Rudy Kamana had an Al Qaeda manual under his pillow. They found it within an hour of going in his house. But yet they sat on the news and they told you it had nothing to do with terrorism. They told you he's not a terrorist. He had ricin in his house. That's a terror plot. They told you and they lied to you for months and months and months. They continually lied to you. The witnesses, I believe, say that they heard Allah Akbar on the train. They will tell you it's not. They will lie to you and lie to you and lie to you. Then they'll lie to you about us with misinformation. They are the main proponents. Our government are the proponents, and most of these cameras are here on behalf of them. The mainstream media are their proponents of misinformation. They will lie to you. They'll cut this Tommy Robinson, terrorism, all this bullshit, whereas reality is that this is targeting me. And you see all the citizen journalists here, if they're successful today, never bring your mobile phone or your device through the border ever again. Yeah.
Totally agree. That's you know, exactly what we were just saying there, Paul. You know, and last time I traveled, I basically got a phone, stripped everything off it. And again, there was nothing on it, but I took your number on it. I took everybody that I'm friendly with, took everybody's numbers out. Because I thought, well, I'm not having, if they do get my phone, I want to be able to say, okay, there you go. There's the PIN number. Do what you want with it. And there's nothing on it. So they can't do anything. But it's disgusting, because here's the thing, Paul, we're the opposite of terrorists. We've always stood against violence, stood against extremism, as has Tommy. And Tommy's always stood against racism as well. Yeah. And actually, if you listen to some of the stuff Tommy says, he's in some ways he's far more moderate than I am, you know. And
well, I mean, I'll tell you what, mate. You know, I believe he's more moderate than 1 or 2 people that are sitting in the house right now. They just say it in a different way.
Well, I would say 1,000,000 times more moderate if you're talking about our Hamas-loving friends. Absolutely, absolutely. Yeah. Yeah, let's finish off this video, see what he's got to say.
Because this will open the gates for them to come in, because there's a war going to happen in the UK, and it's going to be the mainstream media acting on behalf of the government against the new media. They wanted to shut me down as a message to any other citizen journalist. My prison sentence outside Leeds Crown Court, I've just shared a video this morning of a journalist chasing someone down. I said I got 10 months in jail for that. But that was about sending a message to citizen journalists, shut up, basically. They're already trying to work out what they can do because of the footage that's coming out from all the different hotels and what's going on. They don't want anyone being... They have to be in control of the media. They have to be in control of what the public get. And we're a stumbling block for that. And every one of you with your cameras is a stumbling block, so I'm very grateful for you coming every time as well. The public can see all this.
Now, what he said there, Paul, I think he's absolutely right that the state are going to try and come after every single one of us in terms of our citizen journalism, our live streams, everything that we're doing, because it goes against the grain. But again, I think what Tommy's proved today is that we can actually fight back and win. And I was thinking about this. We need to get serious. We need to be really serious people. I mean, not saying we don't have a laugh when we do the streams and all that sort of stuff, but we need to be really serious about what the threats are from government, what the threats are obviously from our friends from the preferred demographic, and how we can counter those threats. And I think we talked a bit about that the other day.
We did, yeah.
If there's a threat to us in terms of our freedom of speech, which I believe there is, we've got to be very, very vocal in opposing that. I think we could do that through the pledge. We could do that through Tommy's mailing list. We could do it through lots of different mechanisms that we've already got, and be writing to MPs and saying, we want you to guarantee our freedom of speech and our freedom of assembly. And You know, those are things that we can do practically. And at the end of the day, if an MP is not listening to that, especially with the election that's going to be coming up, things are going to be very, very problematic. From what do you think, Paul? I mean, I think we've got to be, what he's saying there, I think is very, very interesting when he's saying about they're going to come and shut down the citizen.
You know, I agree. The thing is, Richard, I'm afraid I've got to say, I don't take too much heart out of that result today, because I don't believe that he got the case was dismissed. I don't believe it because the judge, what am I trying to say? What I'm trying to say is that their prosecution was so weak that even the most crooked of judges would have had trouble finding him guilty. Now, you know, I congratulate Tommy and I congratulate the judge on that decision today. But my belief is, if his case had been any weaker, then this wasn't a great victory for freedom of speech today. It was a massive disaster and a massive failure of the police to finish the crooked job that they started properly.
Yeah.
If the police had finished the crooked job that they started properly, then the result today may have well been different.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because if you look at the way the police conducted themselves throughout that investigation, operation, whatever you want to call it, mate, it was like the Keystone Cops. They forgot, they didn't do this, they didn't do that, they left something here or forgot something there. If they'd have had their act together, who knows if we'd have got this result?
I tell you what, I don't agree with that. And I tell you
well,
why.
I hope you're right. I hope you're right, Richard.
Let me explain, right? If actually, what we'll do, I'm going to read now. You will never, well, you might do, because this article, right, I think is actually quite a fair and balanced article. I'm going to read an article from The Guardian about Tommy and about the court case.
I've got to hold my nose.
Don't unsubscribe. No, I think unless I've missed something here, I think it's actually not too bad. So just bear with me while I get this up. So this is I've just cut and pasted this from The Guardian. Okay, Tommy Robinson has been cleared of a terror-related offence after being accused of refusal to give police access to his phone during a border stop. A judge ruled that the stop was unlawful because it was based on what the far-right activist, we'll forget about that, but what the activist stood for and his beliefs rather than suspicions of a connection to terrorism. Now, this is the key to it, Paul. This is where you should be able to travel. I should be able to travel. Danny should be able to travel.
Yeah.
I'm not in a terrorist organization. I never have been. I've never been convicted of any offence. By the way, despite what Searchlight have published on their website, I'm going to have to send them a very, very interesting letter very soon. But that's another story. Anyway, I'll go on with this. Following his acquittal, Robinson, whose real name is, we know his real name, thanked the US tech billionaire Elon Musk, who has said he funded his legal costs in the case. Robinson, 42, was driving a silver Bentley Bentiaga. I don't drive those posh cars, so I can't pronounce it. On his way to the Spanish tourist hotspot of Benidorm, obviously going to Paul's house, when he was stopped by officers at the Channel Tunnel in Folkestone on the 28th of July, 2024, Westminster Magistrate Courts heard previously. Police were suspicious of Robinson's vague replies. You know, you would think counter-terror cops would have a bit more intelligence than just saying, oh, he was answering vaguely. See, when I got stopped, if I ever get stopped by the cops, I'm answering extremely vaguely. I'm not saying anything, you know. I'm mumbling, you know. Vague replies about what he was doing and demanded access to his phone under Schedule 7 of the Terrorism Act. The Act gives the police the power to stop anyone passing through a UK port to determine whether they may be involved or concerned in the commission, preparation, or instigation of acts of terrorism. Now, this is the key, Paul.
It's outrageous, right? Absolutely outrageous.
Well, this is the key, Paul, because there's no way, and this is where there's been massive overreach, and this is where Danny and to be honest, it'd be great to talk to Danny about this, because this is where Danny absolutely they took liberties with Danny, because no way on this earth would Danny ever. He wouldn't even know where to look for a terrorist. He's not that sort of fella. He's a straight going lad.
Exactly.
Total straight goer, right? So it says, if you're whether they may be involved or concerned in the commission, preparation, or instigation of acts of terrorism, there's no way that Tommy's going to be involved in anything like that. It is a complete fantasy, right?
Yeah.
And we'll come on to the prevent thing. We'll play maybe a couple more videos, and I'll come back to the prevent thing in a minute because it's very relevant to this. Then it says this: Robinson refused to give police the PIN for his phone because he said it had journalistic material on it. The court said he was acquitted on Tuesday after a 2-day trial last month, during which his barrister said the police had engaged in a fishing expedition and that there had been no evidence from MI5 to suggest Robinson was a terrorist. Now, this is the key, Paul. For people to actually hold you under those charges, it seems quite obvious, and this is where this is important, and there's a precedent been set by this judge, which is fantastic. MI5 will be telling counterterrorism officers, if they suspect that you're a terrorist or you're involved in terrorism, they'll have wiretap evidence, they'll have all sorts of intelligence, and they will basically then go, okay, we think this guy is at something. Now, Tommy, there's nothing on Tommy whatsoever like that.
No,
and
no.
The fact that they've actually found that there's nothing on Tommy like that means that they can't do this to anybody else either, or it's going to be very difficult for them to.
Well, let's hope. Let's hope so. Let's hope.
Well, I don't see how they can, Paul. In his ruling, District Judge Sangozi told Robinson, "I cannot put out of my mind that it was actually what you stood for and your beliefs that acted at the principal reason for the stop." And obviously, he goes on to say that that's a protected characteristic. He says he added that those beliefs were legally a protected characteristics. So if we're stopped, we can say, "Are you stopping me because of my political beliefs?"
Yeah.
Or do you have evidence of something else? You know, in fact, you don't even need to say that. Just say, "Are you stopping me because of my political beliefs?" Because if they are, and this is a massive thing, because this calls into question all the surveillance cameras they have on us at the marches, right? We do demos in across here in Northern Ireland. Mate, they're filming everything. And it's blatant. They're there with the cameras. Oh, what are you filming us for? Oh, we're not. We delete the footage when we get back to the station. They're lying to us. They're lying to all of us. So policing might have to change. Policing of these events might have to change, hopefully, because it is absolutely taking a liberty, accusing us of being in any way connected with anything that's terrorist related. He added that those beliefs were largely a protected characteristic, legally a protected characteristic when it came to determining whether Robinson was a person falling within the relevant scope of the legislation, namely a person who is or has been concerned in the commission, preparation, or instigation of acts of terrorism. And obviously, Tommy isn't that.
Fall into that category.
It doesn't. So that means anybody else going through, Paul, and let us know in the comments what you think. Let's get some chat going in the comments.
What worries me a little bit, Richard, is that they'll just move on to something else. They'll accuse you of whatever they fancy accusing you of. I'm sorry, but my faith in the police and the authorities is at an all-time low.
Do you know what? I'm going to go on to the prevent thing now, and then we'll play some more videos, because I think the prevent thing is really, really important. Because I think this is where it's coming from, and you'll see why when you read this, Paul. And this is chilling. This is absolutely chilling. So this is, I'm not sure whether I told you about this, Paul. I went onto the Prevent website, the government website, anonymously, and did the Prevent course, right? And I did a video with David Vance about it. Very interesting, very, very enlightening. And I'm going to read through this. I read through this again this morning with my viewers on the breakfast show. But I'm going to go through this again tonight for anybody that wasn't on this morning, because we've got nearly 2,000 people watching this tonight, and a lot of them wouldn't have seen that this morning. So I'm going to go through it word for word. So this is straight from the Prevent website. The links are up above there. Extremism and terrorism. Extremism and terrorism are sometimes used interchangeably. Well, that's interesting. Both pose a threat to people, but they have very distinct definitions. What is extremism? Extremism is the vocal or active opposition to fundamental British values, including democracy, the rule of law, individual liberty, mutual respect, and tolerance of different faiths and beliefs. Now,
all the things that we stand for.
Well, I wouldn't say so. I'm not particularly tolerant of certain faiths and beliefs, to be honest with you, Paul.
I think the British people are, though, Richard, in general.
They probably need not to be. But the reality is, everything else apart from the tolerance of different faiths and beliefs. I don't have tolerance for different faiths and beliefs, and I don't have to, because at the end of the day, I'm not inciting violence against anyone who's got different faiths or beliefs. I just don't like them. You know, it's not the people. I don't like the beliefs, and I've got every right to. You've got every right under British law and under freedom of religion and freedom of speech to criticize any beliefs. If somebody comes to me and says tomorrow, do you know what, Richard? I've been watching a lot of Star Wars and I've decided I've got to become a Jedi. I think I'm going to be ripping the backside out, to be quite honest with you. I don't think I'm going to be just going, that's all right. So anyway, we'll carry on.
What's the next paragraph? Because I can't read, it's too small for me.
Yeah, okay. So it carries on. What turns, because I want to go through every single line of this, it's really important. What turns any type of extremism into terrorism is the belief in using violence to further your cause. Well, Tommy certainly doesn't do that. I don't do that. You don't do that. And then it goes on. Terrorism
sounds like the left to me. Go on, carry on.
Yeah, well, yeah, Antifa do that. So Antifa should be under this definition, Paul. Antifa should be prescribed as a terrorist organization. Terrorism is an action or threat designed to influence the government or intimidate the public. Its purpose is to advance a political, religious, or ideological cause. Now, they're talking about threats there. I would have said it is actually violence, but okay, well, you know, we can give them that one. It's important to remember that not all extremist groups, whether Islamist, extreme right wing, or other, will commit terrorist or violent acts. However, some groups pose particular threats both online and offline. Okay, make of that what you will. Now, this is where it gets really sinister, Paul. Okay, look at this. This is straight off the Prevent website.
Yeah.
Look at what's classed as the biggest threat.
Yeah, extreme right wing. Yeah.
Look at what's first. Extreme right wing's first. It's got a lot more detail on what extreme right wing is, and then Islamist down the bottom of the page. And this is actually reflected, Paul, in the latest Prevent stats, which are going to come out on the 6th, which I believe is tomorrow, will show that 50% of them are of unknown ideology. Then the next largest people that are getting reported to Prevent are extreme right wing, and then the third is Islamism. Now, I'm sorry, there's something very, very wrong with that.
Crazy, yeah.
And the age groups, I think, are about 11 to 18, something like that, 11 years old to 18 years old. And one of the things this is doing, Paul, this is preventing young people having political views that are counter to the blob, to the left-wing Fabian Society, indoctrination program. Okay, so this is getting very, very sinister. But I'm going to read this. We define extreme right-wing terrorism as the active or vocal support of ideologies that advocate discrimination or violence against minority groups. The three most common subcategories of extreme right-wing terrorist ideologies and their narratives are, now listen to this, think about this. So what they've said is there that we're talking about ideologies that advocate discrimination or violence against minority groups. Now, in our movement, I don't know anybody that advocates for either of those two things, for discrimination or violence against minority groups. Now, the first one, cultural nationalism, is the top of the tree here. It's the one that they think is most important. Cultural nationalism. Western culture is under threat from mass migration and a lack of integration by certain ethnic and cultural groups. Would you believe that, Paul?
Well, I mean, look, that makes about 80-90% of the population far right.
And according to Prevent itself, that this is a terrorist ideology. And that's why I'm going through this, guys. I know this is really wordy and it's really nerdy, but the bottom line is
it's actually not at all, Richard. It's very eye-opening.
It's really, really important that people understand this. So our government consider, I would say you're right, Paul, it's probably 80%, maybe 75% of the British people believe that Western culture is under threat from mass migration and lack of integration. I believe that. 100% I believe that. I know it's true.
And that's a terrorist ideology.
According to the British government, according to the Prevent website. Now, so here's the thing, Paul. That is how they can justify pulling Tommy over. That is how they can justify. And I think this ruling, if we lobby Parliament And if we lobby our MPs and maybe, you know, get someone like the black belt barrister or the other guy with the long hair, forget his name. I think it's Stephen someone or other. Get one of
Yeah.
those guys to dig into this. We need proper legal advice. But to me, if what they've done to Tommy is discriminatory because of his political beliefs, which are a protected characteristic, then me believing in cultural nationalism, and I would call it civic nationalism, cultural nationalism, it's nothing to do with race. It's nothing to do with the color of your skin. It's to do with ideology and what you actually believe. We've always said it, Paul, whether you've got red, white, and blue in your heart. Us saying you've got red, white, and blue in your heart makes us now terrorist suspects
Yeah.
that need to be
Yeah.
looked at by the prevent strategy. Absolutely insane. It goes on to ethno-nationalism and white supremacism. Obviously, we all know our opinions on
We're
white
not going to argue
supremacism.
too much.
Can't be no time for them whatsoever. The thing about ethno-nationalism, Paul, and this is Stephen Barrett. That's it. Thanks, Trevor. Stephen Barrett. The thing about ethno-nationalism, right, and why there's a pull to ethno-nationalism, there is no doubt in my mind that white English people are being discriminated against. Not by, well, there are some race baiters, and we know them. I'm not going to name on here, but you know them. You know that's anorexic Indian girl and a couple of Pakistani and African girls who are, you know, seem to be at it all the time, trying to poke the bear. But that they're not the problem. The problem are the Keir Starmers, the Ed Davies, the blob, the liberal elite, the people in the Home Office who absolutely despise the British working class. They're suspicious of the British working class. They think we're all frothing at the mouth, waiting to have a race riot and attack the local mosque. That's what our elites think of us, Paul, especially Keir Starmer and his little gang, right? So this stuff really matters.
I can't believe that they've put extreme right wing above Islamist. I find that mind blowing.
Well, and the figures that will come out tomorrow will show that more right wing people have been referred to prevent, and of course the government will say, "Well, there you go. It shows we've got a problem with the extreme right wing." So,
that doesn't surprise me because they probably have, like I say, you know, the vast majority. I mean, they could pick on the vast majority of the public these days, and any of us, and say that we need, you know, prevent need to speak to us.
But what it's about, Paul, it's about preventing people. I mean, Nigel Farage's party would agree that Western culture is under threat from mass migration and lack of integration. Many people in the Conservative Party would. So if you're going to young people and saying, if you believe this, you're on the road to terrorism, son, and we need to de-radicalize you, that is very, very sinister. And that is attacking someone because of their protected characteristic. And I think if and let me know in the comments, guys, what you think. But I think this could actually destroy this plank of the prevent program, this court case today, because of the ramifications of it. Because if it's illegal to arrest Tommy because of his political beliefs, then surely it's going to be illegal to refer someone to prevent because of their political beliefs. Yeah,
I mean, look, I think an organisation like Prevent has a role to play if they're targeting the right people.
Well, Paul, what happened several years ago was Prevent or the government was lobbied by Islamist groups to change the way Prevent was being run, because Prevent was quite rightly targeted at Islamist extremism, and it worked. And it didn't work actually, but it was targeting the right people. Yeah. It was targeting the right people. And then now listen to this. This is the next thing that is also very sinister, Paul. Okay, the Islamist threat. Okay, Islamist terrorist ideology. Now I'm going to pause on that. I'll come back to that. Islamist terrorist. Notice it doesn't just say Islamist. Islamist terrorist ideology is inspired by politically and religiously motivated groups or people who support and use violence to establish their version of an Islamic society. Islamist terrorist ideology includes the uncompromising belief that people cannot be both Muslim and British, and that Muslims living in the UK should not participate in democracy. Now, there's a massive, massive gap in that, Paul. And the gap's very simple. We have got MPs sitting in the Houses of Parliament who are Islamists. And what they're doing is they're using democracy to destroy democracy. And this pillar of Prevent completely misses that. Because if it had picked that up, those guys probably wouldn't have got, well, they probably would have got elected because there's that many people going to vote for them. But this is what the government are actually missing, that the problem is not the jihadists, and it really isn't, Paul. The problem in our country is not jihadists. It really isn't. The problem in our country is Islamists who want to take over the government to impose their version of Sharia law, and and we're talking Muslim Brotherhood, we're talking other organizations that I'm not going to name until I know that I can name them legally without getting sued. The Muslim Brotherhood aren't going to sue anyone, but there are other organizations that I know of in the UK, predominantly coming out of Pakistan and Bangladesh, that basically militate and want to have an Islamic State in the UK. And the prevent strategy.
For you, Richard,
totally
what should this read like to you?
Okay. Well, that should read. So instead of just focusing on Islamist terrorism, which is quite right to do, there should be another paragraph saying we also oppose Islamist groups that are using British democracy to destroy British democracy and the British way of life and impose their idea of an Islamic State on the United Kingdom. Something along those lines. Obviously, it'd be a lot better. The wording would be a lot better.
I agree. The problem is that the first section, then there's an oxymoron there, isn't there?
Of course, Paul. That's the whole point.
Yeah.
So the whole thing needs rewritten. To be honest with you, it needs to be rewritten. Now, again, that's way above my pay grade, and I'm sure it's above yours. But the bottom line is, so this is why I'm bringing this to you guys tonight, because this is really, really important. Like someone says in the comments, we've got a Muslim Home Secretary who says that the most important thing in her life is Islam. Now, I don't have a problem with that. You know, if I'm a practicing Christian, if I'm brutally honest, the most important thing in my life should be my Christianity. And when it is, I'm a better person for it. Problem is with Islam, the opposite's the case. If you're really big into your Quran and the story of Muhammad and the Hadiths, you're probably not going to be a good British citizen. But so I think this needs looked at, Paul, and I think this is something Advance can look at. This is something Reform can look at. This is something the Conservative Party needs to look at again, because the Conservative Party, I would imagine that this definition is not the fault of the Labour Party. This is probably residue from Michael Gove's review.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah, you know,
100%.
And of course, Islamists will have been pushing in there and you know, promoting this. So,
well, I'd like to know the people that actually wrote this.
Well, absolutely, and I'm sure you could find out, Paul. I'm sure you could find out easy enough. I want to listen to what we'll let Don Keefe have his say. So this is a video Don made. So just going to drop this in the
cases against Tommy Robinson.
Bring it back.
You know, I'm not sure everyone understands the seismic impact that the judge's not guilty verdict in the Tommy Robinson Terrorism Act case will have on future political persecution cases against Tommy Robinson. You know, Tommy's been telling us for years that every case against him is a witch hunt. And
I think sorry to interrupt that, but I think what Don's saying there, it's not just for Tommy. This is going to apply for absolutely everybody, because precedent has been set. If we are being harassed because of our political beliefs, which Tommy certainly has been, and I would say we all have been to a greater or a lesser extent, Paul, then we have very good recourse to say, hold on a minute. What I believe politically is none of your business. We're not going to break the law. We're not going to do anything illegal. We're not going to do anything violent. Leave us alone to do what we do. And if you don't like our politics, well, that's fine. You don't have to join Advance. You don't have to vote for us. Yeah. So
that he's been targeted because of his political views. And for the first time ever, a sitting magistrate, Sam Guzzi, has agreed with him, saying, I cannot put out of my mind that it was actually what you stood for and your political beliefs that acted as the principal reason for this stop. So if you've been following Tommy Robinson, you know that he has another court case coming up next year for a harassment charge, because two journalists that photographed Tommy and his family on vacation a year ago filed those charges against him when he returned the favor and photographed them. Only they weren't charged, he was. So going forward, in this case and any other politically motivated case against Tommy Robinson, his attorneys will be able to argue that that political motivation in any other courtroom, because they can now point to this case and say, see here, Judge, we know that this prosecutor and these mainstream journalists are out to get Tommy Robinson based on his political views, because another judge in this previous case has already found it to be true. So kudos to this Judge Sam Guzzi for making the right decision in this case. You know, I had my doubts about him at first, but in the end, I did predict this would be the outcome. So congratulations to my friend Tommy Robinson.
By the way, Don Keith, what a guy.
Oh, brilliant, Paul.
Honorary Brit. Honorary Brit.
Absolutely superb, Paul. Absolutely superb. And I think the thing is with Don, he is so loyal to Tommy. I mean, he's spent him and his wife have spent tens of thousands of dollars coming to support Tommy, lobbying for him in the United States. You know, just a top guy. Hopefully, I'm going to have him on next week. He's but I mean, just one of the best guys in the movement without a shadow of a doubt, and very intelligent, very articulate, sort of person that we really need. Excuse me. What do you think about the media coverage, Paul? What do you think about what's happening with the media?
Well, very interesting to watch Tommy's reaction with the MSM after the court case today. I mean, look, we all know what they're like. They've reported all the nonsense all the way down the line, haven't they? But, look, at the end of the day, isn't it time that they all manned up and gave Tommy some airtime?
Yeah.
And shouldn't we start with the so-called voices of freedom and the voices of the people, GB News and Talk TV? Well,
you would think so, Paul, wouldn't you? I mean, but let's have a look. I mean, actually, I think there might have been a massive breakthrough in Talk TV tonight. I'm gonna just pop something in the.
Well, let's have a look, because I haven't had a chance to catch up with it today. But
it's quite long, guys. Bear with us on this. It's quite a long clip. But this is, I mean, Michelle Dewberry has always been very, very supportive of Tommy.
Yeah, Michelle has always been good.
In a quiet way, she's always gone, okay, well, what's going on here? So let's have a look at what Jude's has got to say.
Well, that case has concluded today. Let me tell you what he actually said, and I quote, "I cannot put out of my mind that it was actually what you stood for and your political beliefs."
I just pulled it back there, guys.
Has been catching my eye over the last few weeks and months. Tommy Robinson, of course, you know who he is. He was accused under terrorism offences. Essentially, he wouldn't hand his telephone PIN number over when he was asked to, when he was trying to cross the channel. Well, that case has concluded today. Let me tell you what he actually said, and I quote, "I cannot put out of my mind that it was actually what you stood for and your political beliefs that acted for the principal reason for this stop." I've got to tell you, the legal fees for this case have been funded by Elon Musk. I find this whole thing very, very chilling. Tommy Robinson is a man that, let's not beat about the bush, he divides opinion. Many people absolutely love him and what he stands for. Many people absolutely despise what he stands for. Irrespective of what your opinion is on the man himself, the fact that police officers in today's day and age can catch a glimpse of you as you rock up in someone else's car, and then because they don't like the way that you look at them or all the rest of it, can basically suggest that somehow you are a terrorist is chilling. And the fact that we've just had it confirmed now by the judge that the stop itself, that wasn't even lawful. It was on the basis of the man's political beliefs. Yeah. This is concerning to me.
Which of course is a protected characteristic. So the implication essentially that's there that the judge is alluding to is he was only stopped because they disagreed with his political views and used that for the basis of the intervention. And let's not forget, this comes against the backdrop of a story regarding the Home Office and Prevent Counter-Terrorism training, which was leaked to the Telegraph.
Sorry, could you hear that noise in the background?
Yeah, what was that? It's not me.
No, I don't think so.
Unless you got a ghost.
It's a ghost in the machine, maybe. I don't know.
I told you to stop eating curry before the show.
Oh yeah, I know what it was now. Yeah, that was the other side of what you were doing earlier on, Paul.
Yeah,
you know
go on.
Let's just see what happens.
Newspaper, which shows that people within the state consider people who hold culturally conservative views. We have a British state that is clearly hostile to Tommy Robinson.
That's a bit boring anyway.
You know, if you look at the last 25 years, if the state and politicians had actually seriously listened to what he was saying and the issues he was talking about, you know, the rape gangs, for example, back in the 2000s, you know, he probably wouldn't be as significant a political figure as he is today, but because of the mishandling of it, they sort of turned him into this kind of Robin Hood figure who seems to be, you know, resonating with a significant slice of the country.
Steve McCabe?
Well,
I mean, this is the lefty coming on. Do you know what, Paul? I think Matt Goodwin, he was really talking through gritted teeth there. I think that's the nicest he's ever been about Tommy. You know, but listen, now here's
some Robin Hood type of character. Well, Matt, if you're watching, by the way, son, he's much more of a Robin Hood character than you'll ever be. But
absolutely, he's more like the sheriff of Nottingham, isn't he? But
I mean, look, Matt, I'm not having a go about Matt because he stands for the right things. But come on, mate. Grow a pet, will you?
Well, this is the whole thing. Someone's not as nice as you about Matt.
Grow a pair, Matt. That's all you need to do, Matt. Stop worrying about your own career. Grow a pair.
And now we've got the token lefty. So let's see what the token lefty has to say.
I can't say I'm a great fan of Mr. Robinson, but actually, if the facts as they're being reported in this case are accurate, then I think the court came to the right decision. And I think I'm surprised that the terrorist legislation was used in the first place. And I think there probably does need to be some training for the officers concerned, in that they didn't seem to have a grasp of what they were doing. I actually do think the police got this badly wrong. I'm surprised it got to court, and I think the court came to the right decision, and we should be relieved
I followed the twists and turns and the details of this case. It was like, I don't know, Keystone Cops. It was absolutely farcical when you actually follow the details of stuff was not really happening when it's supposed to be happening. People didn't really know what they were doing. There was information lost, you name it. One of the challenges when it comes to the likes of Tommy Robinson, people are too afraid, too cowardly, actually, to address the issues that he raises and has consistently raised for many, many decades, that actually now you're seeing play out up and down the country. So instead of actually having the chops to deal with the issues that he tries to raise awareness of, what they do is they constantly try and vilify, demonise and persecute the messenger. What do you make to it, ladies and gents? Lots more that we need to discuss after the break. I'll see you in 2.
Well, so now, if the producers at GB News, the big wigs, if they had any balls and any respect for their viewership, Tommy would be their #1 guest tomorrow morning, wouldn't he?
Absolutely, totally, 100%. You're getting the blame for that noise, Paul. He said it sounded like your dog licking itself. Now, Farty Pants, how do you know what Paul's dog sounds like? That's what I'm worried about. Has he got you under surveillance, Paul?
Get down, Shep.
Oh, mate. They called it puppy love.
Oh, yeah.
But no, I mean, you know, I mean, fair play to Michelle Dewsbury and the other guys, even the lefty guy. He said, look, they got it bang on.
Yeah.
And let's get it right. I mean, The Guardian, that is about the nicest thing I've ever heard The Guardian say about anybody on the right.
Richard, what all these idiots have got to understand is this, right? Is that first they come for you.
Yep.
Or what's the old saying? First they come for your enemies, then they come for your friends or whatever, and then they come for you, you know. So
it was, I mean, it was first they came for the communists, then they came for the trade unionists, then they came for the Jews, then they came for me. And when they came, you know, what it was, I should have spoken when they came for the communists. I should have spoken when they came for the trade unionists. I should have spoken when they came for the Jews. When they came to me, there was nobody left to speak. That's what that little poem is by. It was actually by a German
so these
theologian.
People, if they know what's good for them, because, you know, I was thinking about it today, you know, look, if we carry on like this, when we eventually get a government that leans the other way, and we're no doubt going to get that, right? Do they want us to come after them in the same fashion? Is that what
I mean, that's what Trump's done, isn't it? I mean, Trump's pretty much done that.
Talking about Trump, I don't want to change tack, but
no, go for it.
The BBC have made a particularly good day, have they?
Oh,
unbelievable!
That broke last night on GB News. Funnily enough, Patrick Christie's broke that last night, and man, you know, they're in big trouble. They're in big trouble.
They are the Titanic.
Yeah,
at the moment.
Oh, I mean, they just keep. They're worse than the Titanic because it's like they're staring into every iceberg in the North Atlantic. You know, I mean, there's another story which I'm going to
But
cover tomorrow.
How much longer can this go on, though, Richard? Before the public, you know, before there's retribution. Is that the right word? Not retribution. Before they're held to account for what they're doing.
The problem we got is who's going to hold them to account? Ofcom, the Labour government. You know, the reality is, what we need is a right-wing government. Well, it's not even right-wing. I mean, I think what Ben says is very true. It's not a question of left or right. It's a question of patriotic people that love the UK and those that don't. And there will be people on the left who love the UK who could join Advance. I mean, some of them are complete headbangers as well, to be fair. You know, think of George Galloway. But, you know, there are people on the left that love the UK. I mean, Tony Benn, you know, was a great patriot. But he was on the left, you know. So I think
the bottom line is, though, Richard, with the BBC, at the end of the day, this has to stop with them. Something has to happen.
It's not going to.
Now, whether that means weekly demonstrations outside the BBC, whether it means, you know, thousands of people writing to them, emailing them every single day, and tying up their what's the word I'm looking for? Their commercial department, whatever it is. I don't know, but it's just incredible. They're a national embarrassment now.
They are. I mean, if we had a very strong, you know what? Actually, I'm going to have a look at this because this is a fair comment. Do you know what? As I said that, I was thinking the same. I like Tony Benn, to be honest with you, because he kind of thought a bit different, but he was a well-spoken idiot. You're absolutely right, Ben. I do apologise for that. I was having a bit of a brain fart there, but yeah, no, you're right, Paul. I mean, I think the thing is, if we had a well-organised boycott of the licence fee, then you'd be in a position where that could happen. You know, where you could basically get. Get rid of the BBC if nobody pays the license fee anymore, because then the government have to fund the whole thing. But no, I think you know, the BBC has been massively problematic. I want to show some more footage. This is from the Sun, believe it or not. This is from the Sun newspaper.
Speech one in off. Just before, as I'm walking out of court, Elon Musk, I'm forever grateful. If you didn't step in and fund my legal fight for this, then I'd probably be in jail. So today, free speech one, in our fight back, the judge gave a damning verdict against them and against their unlawful and their targeted harassment. So thank you, Elon, from me, personally, thank you.
Tommy in the Bentley. So again, Paul, not a negative report, not a very positive report.
No,
but I think they're getting a bit better, aren't they? They're getting.
Yeah,
I
mean, at the end of the day, Richard, they're running out of ideas, aren't they?
Yeah, totally.
They're running out of ideas. They're running out of a plan. You know, they're slowly but surely seeing that they cannot continue to pull the wool over the public's eyes, because the public aren't that stupid. I mean, what do they say? You can fool all the people some of the time and some of the people all the time, but you can't fool all the people all the time.
Exactly.
And I think that some of these news outlets are slowly but surely, many years overdue, coming to that conclusion.
Exactly. And one of them met her Waterloo today. Let's have a look at it. Let's have a look at what happened.
Because that all happened in court for 2 days. Why didn't you report what happened in court to your audiences? Why didn't you report what happened in court? Why didn't you report the truth of what happened in court? Because all you report, no, you didn't report about cars and money. Why didn't you report about all the stuff the judge has found? Because that all happened in court. You didn't report any of it.
You have no accurate information
Yes, I do.
about what my report
Yes, I do.
included.
Okay, you didn't include the 34 seconds.
I did.
No, you didn't.
I did.
No, you didn't. Who did you report for?
Look, this is a very intimidating environment that you're putting.
Oh, it's intimidating, Richard.
I know,
Intimidating.
I know. You know, and you think about what those. Well, I'm going to be careful what I say, but what journalists have done to Tommy before, following him on holiday, all sorts of stuff going on.
She'd
And
never,
yet-
she'd never make a K80, would she? If
No,
that's
well, she wouldn't make us. She wouldn't make one of our citizens journalists, Paul. She imagine her at Speaker's Corner, surrounded by a mob of jihadists screaming at her. Do you know what I mean?
Hero, Joe.
know,
How pathetic! What an
she'd be-
embarrassment!
They'd be reaching for the smelling salts, you know.
What
But
an
I'm going to tell you something.
embarrassment.
She was filming the whole thing. There's another angle. She was filming the whole thing from her phone camera, right? And you can guarantee that she'll run straight to the police after this.
Yeah.
Without a shadow of doubt. Oh, I felt intimidated. No, you're doing your job. You went there to report on Tommy. You've got Tommy to interview. If she'd have been switched on, she could have got a really good interview out of him there. She could have said, do you know what, Tommy? Yeah, I want to report the truth. Tell me what it is. Tell me the truth.
She's not there to tell the truth,
No.
is she?
No.
She's
They're
there to gaslight the goddamn nation. That's what they've been doing for
absolute
years.
scumbags.
Wake up, everyone.
Absolute
Why everyone
scumbags.
acting calmly? Cameras, they're all journalists. The same happens to me.
You have me physically called.
No,
Tommy Robinson.
I mean, you know, so that's what, even now, even after having that great, you know, that great victory, let's say, this, you know, I can guarantee that she's going to run to the police. I can guarantee it. Guarantee it. You know, as sure as night follows day. You know,
Unbelievable.
oh, he's harassed me. I want an exclusion order on him. You know what I mean? No, he came out of court and you were standing there waiting for him.
Yeah.
I feel intimidated.
Exactly,
What do you think? What did she think he's going to do? Stick a headbutt on her in front of all those people? I mean, what are these? You know, it's insane. But the problem is, he's been so demonized that they actually believe their own publicity and they believe everything that they've said about him.
Absolutely. Evening, Danny, in the chat, by the way. Just seen Danny
Where's
there.
Danny? Where is he?
Apparently, there's been another stabbing at a train station.
Oh, for goodness sake! For goodness sake!
Oh, hold on a minute. Hold on a minute. Maybe not. Maybe not. Hold on. Let me just check my phone. No. Just be 1 sec. Richard, stay there.
Yeah, go for it. Yeah. Yeah, so I mean, obviously, with what's been going on, I just can't believe that the state are paying more attention to Tommy than they are. I mean, Jackie Lee, F1K, thanks for the super chat. Really appreciate it. I thought the super chats were broken tonight. Anyway, we know it's going to kick off Thursday at Villa Park. Wonder what the headlines will be Friday. We know exactly what the headlines are going to be. It's going to be blaming everybody but the actual cause of the genuine problems. That's what the headlines are going to be. It's not going to be about we've had a bit of an issue here with Islamists taking over a city and trying to intimidate an Israeli football team.
Sorry, mate. False alarm.
No problem. No, I was just saying, Paul, about the thing at Villa Park on tomorrow. And this is who's this been organised? The Gaza gang. The Gaza gang are organised.
700 police officers at a game. Richard, 700 police officers with a no-fly exclusion zone over Villa Park tomorrow night for a football match where there's no away supporters.
It's incredible. It's incredible. Absolutely, completely incredible. And you know the other thing about it, Paul, they'll need those 700 police officers. They'll need them, because what you're going to have tomorrow, and I hope it happens, not violence, but I hope this happens, right? I hope what we see tomorrow is a whole lot of Islamist youth, as the semi-literate lawyer basically said in his little video earlier on today, we want the Muslim youth to turn up, and there's going to be lots of youths tomorrow, and you know, probably a lot of them will get a criminal record if it kicks off. Right. In fact, no, actually, they won't get a criminal record, Paul, because they've probably already got one.
Yeah.
And the ones that haven't will just get a slap on the wrist.
Well, do you know what, as well? I feel sorry for Aston Villa supporters, you know, because they're now getting dragged. They're getting dragged into this. Their club's getting dragged into it. Aston Villa are a football club with a grand history.
Yep.
You know, lots and lots of loyal supporters. I mean, they're I don't want to upset any Blues fans watching this, but they're, you know, probably the biggest club in Birmingham. Sorry, Birmingham fans.
You're in bother. The Zulus are going to be after you now, Paul.
I know. But no, look, the bottom line is I feel sorry for Villa fans because they're going to become known as the first Islamic club of England.
Well, I mean, like, you know, when we were doing stuff with the football lads, there didn't seem to be a large amount of.
No, there's not, Richard. But what I'm saying is, people are going to look at them and go, "Oh, you know, you've banned these fans. You know, your club's taking a side and blah blah." I mean, look, I'm sure the Villa fans would have loved to have had the away fans there tomorrow to make up that atmosphere. That's what football's all about.
Yep.
An atmosphere and a bit of rivalry and a bit of banter.
And Paul,
what we're going to get tomorrow is we're going to get sectarian hatred, where you need 700 plus police officers to police a game where there are no away fans. What does that tell you?
Exactly. And this is the thing, Paul. This is why we need Advance UK to win the next election. Because I tell you what, Nige ain't going to deal with this. Nige is terrified of it. He might send a few illegals home, right? But I tell you now, Nigel Farage will not deal with the problem. And the problem is Islamism. And Prevent's not dealing with it because it's not terrorism. It's the ideology that wants our country to be an Islamic state. That's what Islamism is, right? And that is there purely and simply to take over the country. And they will do it by democratic means. They did it in the Gaza Strip. They've done it in Turkey. Erdogan, I know Turkish people, Muslim people that despise Erdogan with a passion because he's an Islamist and they're not. They were used to the secular regime in Turkey where they could go for a beer. There was pubs. There was
blimey.
You know, and don't get me wrong. I know parts of Turkey are still like that, but Turkey is gradually getting Islamized, and it's the Muslim Brotherhood, and the Muslim Brotherhood are operating in the UK and their affiliates from Pakistan and Bangladesh, and the extremist denominations like Deobandi and the Salafis and so on, so forth. This is a massive problem, and nobody's talking about it, Paul. Nobody, and Prevent don't even believe it's a problem.
Yeah,
they think the far right is far more of a problem than the Deobandi or the Muslim Brotherhood or the Salafi. You know, and it's this is the problem that we've got. This is the problem that we've got.
Thank you, Jackie. Thank you, Victoria and Jenny. Thank you. Yeah.
Yep. Let's get those up there. Yep. Victoria, thanks very much for that. God bless you as well. Thanks very much for coming on with the supers.
It's a good chat going on there tonight.
It's a great chat, Paul. It's a really good chat, and I think it's been to be honest with you, I think it's been a really good show because we've covered a lot of stuff. All right, most of it's been about Tommy, but we've actually covered a lot here because it's not just about Tommy. It's about all the threats that the UK face and the fact that Tommy's been standing up against these things for so long, as have I and as have you, Paul. But I think more and more people are getting engaged. I mean, there's 2,500 people watching this tonight, and there's more and more people getting involved. What we'll do, we'll have a little look at what Tommy had to say after the case when he's in the car on the way home. And there's a nice little touch
I actually haven't seen that one yet.
Oh, this is nice. There's a little touch where he's chatting to his mum as well, so it's quite nice.
Because of my political beliefs, that I was discriminated against because that we have just been found not guilty of terrorism charges, which is a relief because I thought I was going to jail, if I'm honest. I always in the back of my mind think they can do what they want. More so, why I'm just need to take it in now is the damning verdict. The judge found that I was targeted because of my political beliefs, that I was discriminated against because that the police, I say it out loud, the counter-terrorism police targeted me because of my political beliefs. That's what I knew anyway. It's what we all knew. But the judge has just given a damning verdict statement saying that. So the media probably won't run that little statement. Do you know what I mean? They probably won't run that statement. They'll just run that I've been found not guilty. That's what I expect. But his verdict was damning, totally damning. I'm surprised. I'm surprised at how strong his verdict was and how he listed everything. Because my frustration was everything that I saw happen in court when we was on trial, the mainstream media didn't report it. So we watched as the police officers got caught lying. They blatantly got caught lying and he didn't report it. And none of the media reported it. Ezra reported it, but none of the media reported it. So as you're watching them lie, I think, well, how are the media... What the media took as news and run with wasn't news. Yeah. So a police officer lies, accepts that he's doing everything unlawfully and targeting me because of who I am within 34 seconds, and none of the media run that. So it's upsetting, it's frustrating. It's also upsetting because although the judge gave a great verdict, he also banned citizen journalists from court. He would not allow any citizen journalists to report from court on what was happening. So then they control, that's where it gets frustrating. So then the media's controlled and the media don't report what's going on. But thankfully the judge gave a real damning verdict. I need to ring my mum in. So I'll ring her quickly. The judge hammered them. The judge hammered them. Neither can I. Neither can I. We have just been found not...
Good lad. Can't hear you, Richard.
Was he in a self-driving car there, Paul?
Oh, I don't know, mate. Well, if it is, it's on the left-hand drive, so...
No. But no, I mean, great. I mean, a great result for Tommy. Chuffed to bits. Let's hope he gets that other case kicked out as well, which I think is very, very weak.
It's even, mate.
It's weaker than this one.
Weak is not even a word. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, and the other thing is Elon Musk is fully engaged in all this. Now, I don't know if you saw the story. I'm not putting it in the on the screen tonight, but there's a group of peers in the House of Lords that have told politicians in the UK to have nothing to do with Elon Musk. Don't have anything to do with SpaceX. Don't have anything to do with his, they're not saying that about the Chinese communists or the Qataris or the Turks or any of these people that are trying to destabilize our country or the Saudis. No. Elon Musk, he's the real villain of the piece here. It's incredible, Paul. What's going on?
Richard, can we get this comment up, please?
Yeah, of course we can, mate. Yeah.
Hold on.
But by the way, thanks for that, Bess. Advanced Patriots, Advanced UK all the way. We really, really need to be voting for Advanced UK. Really do. Sorry, what we're going for, Paul? Which one is it?
916, Thomas. You're all frauds and grifters.
Let's have a look.
Thomas, we love you too.
916.
Get a life, Thomas. Even better, find yourself a girlfriend.
Or a boyfriend.
Find yourself a friend. That'd be a start.
916. Where is 916? 91.
916.
Let's see. Come on.
Don't worry, Richard. I've given him his
money. Look, what was it? What did he say again, Paul?
He says you're all frauds and grifters.
Wonderful. Well, I tell you what, Thomas. If I'm a fraud and a grifter, in Super Chats tonight, we've got about 30 quid. It's not exactly a good grift, mate, because I can tell you now, if I wanted to go into business and make money doing something, I would make a lot more than 15 quid an hour, right? So if we're grifters, we are the worst grifters on the planet.
Thomas, I don't know how silly you feel right now watching, right?
I know. I'd be
believe me, I'm having a good laugh at that. That's a good one. Can you try and do a bit better? Because that's
Thomas, mate, you know what, Thomas? It's very rare I see Paul Thorpe smiling as much. You've really tickled something in Paul. So
Thomas, you've made my night, mate, with that one.
Yeah.
You know why, Richard? You know why? Because it proves, mate, they've gone from racist and fascist and far right to grifters.
Well, we're not far right. We're not far right. We're not terrorists anymore. So we're grifters. I think I take that. That's an upgrade, Paul. That's
everyone watching. We're winning because that's all they're getting less and less and less to throw at us. By the way, Thomas, you're in the wrong place, brother, because we've got one big happy family going on here.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, son, you ain't part of it.
Yeah, exactly. And just a word to the admins on my channel, on Paul's channel.
Don't ban him. Don't ban him. I'm
don't ban
enjoying
him.
him.
Don't ban him at all. We want him for the sport. We're gonna toy with Thomas for the next 6 months.
Oh, Thomas.
It's not Tommy, is it? Tommy's not accusing us of being grifters, is he? Oh, mate,
dear.
beautiful, absolutely beautiful. We love you, Thomas.
Thomas, in London, we call that having a new one ripped.
Yeah, give up, Thomas. Give up, mate. If that's the best you got, give up. Eddie Lee, $4.99. Thanks for that momentum. I'm just on my grift here, Thomas, just so you can see this is me grifting. Momentum is building steadily for Patriotic Brits today with the verdict, Advanced UK membership growing, potential 5 million at the next UTK event. Tell you what, the next UTK event, I mean, I obviously have I'm going to be involved in organising it, and I don't know where we're going to put the 5 million people. I'll be honest with you.
I don't know where we're going to put them all. Richard, can we have a little bit of positivity? Because Thomas has put me in a good mood. He's brightened me mood, actually.
Go for it, mate. You can do the positive vibe. Go for it, Paul.
What do you think of the new show that I've been doing with the viewers?
Oh, mate, I'm loving it. I'm loving it. If you haven't, now what you probably, I don't know if you do this, Paul, and if you do, forgive me. You probably need to do it at the same time every day, if you can. Just so that people are used to it, and just like doing that. Well, however long you want to do it for. I mean, as long as you can, you can sustain it.
I just enjoy seeing the people get stuff off their chest.
Yeah.
And mate, the reaction that I've had, people saying, "Oh, thank you for letting me get that on," and it's so great to see people being able to get stuff off their chest. And Richard, the amount of people that are maybe feeling vulnerable or lonely or alone. And it's given them something. It's given them a community, and I really, really love it. I love
Paul,
it.
I mean, I keep going back to it, and I'm not picking on her because she was a great caller. But I think about Kathy on the call that the one that me and you were on Sunday, wasn't it? Sunday morning, and she was literally saying, "I've nobody in my area." Well, the great thing is you've got us.
Yeah,
we're here for people like Kathy to give you a voice, to let you know that you're supported. And
Pete last night got to me as well. What a lovely fella. What a lovely, lovely guy, Pete. And he was upset because he didn't feel that he was.
I know the guy you're talking about, the guy with the glasses. Yep. He'd been out in the Far East or in the Middle East.
Yeah,
that's it. Yep. Really nice guy. So again, there's a lot of people. I think the thing is, Paul, what I've noticed in my, I do a little thing on Sunday night, a little sort of Christian thing. And basically the people that are in that, they all really care about each other.
Yeah,
they're really interested in each other. The guys in the chat, and we only have about 400 people on a Sunday night, because obviously Christianity is not everybody's cup of tea. I get that, but what we're doing here, Paul, is building communities. I do the same. We go out on Friday, and I don't run the thing. I just turn up and I speak. So in fact, nobody runs it. It's totally leaderless. So we go out on Friday, do our little hotel demo, and nobody owns it. And I would speak occasionally, but what we're doing, Paul, we're building a little community there. And
absolutely,
people look forward to going down, and some of the guys that watch my channel go down as well. And it's just really, really encouraging, And yeah, by the way, guys, let's not forget about the Men of England. On a positive note, we went up from 33 to 29 in the download charts overnight. So we want to get this as high. I want to get this to number one. I haven't even really started promoting it yet. Now, hope Paul, you're going to do this for me. You're going to help me out and do a bit of promotion.
I
of the Men of England.
I will. Just remind me the next time the next time we got the professional show going.
Hey, listen, I smashed this tonight.
Yeah, you have.
I've smashed it.
I just realised you can see what's going on the television behind me,
mate. Do you know what? Oh, that is a video nasty. See what I can see at the minute is an absolute video nasty. That should be banned. Yeah. That should be absolutely banned. Rachel Reeves. It's past the 9 o'clock watershed, Paul. But Rachel Reeves, come on.
Oh dear.
Oh dear.
You can see what news channel I'm sitting there watching that.
There's Matt Goodwin again. So we've done that one at Momentum Building. George Plus, verdict should have consequences for bully boy tactics. Absolutely 100% agree with that. And that's what we're hoping for. And I think it will, Paul. I think it's going to make a massive difference, this verdict. I really do.
Well, let's hope so, Richard. And let's hope that it means that you know, people like myself and Danny. And, I mean, look, it's gone past that stage now, but Danny,
Paul,
I think
Paul.
Danny, go on.
That's for you, mate. That lovely drifter who does a fab show. By the way, I have a Temu Rolex. You're stealing my admins now, Paul.
Thank you, best Black. Thank you, best. Thomas, you see what you've done. Look,
That's
Thomas. God,
Actually, since Thomas made his comments, the grifters just got so good because everyone's doing super chats now, Paul. Do you know what I mean?
I bet Thomas is. No, I can't say that.
No, don't.
No,
Crying. He's crying into his soy latte. That's what he's doing. He's crying into his.
I've got. Yeah, we got to see it.
I just hope Thomas isn't. Hope Thomas isn't the 6'4" mixed martial artist, mate.
Do you know what, mate? I've given up. Look, do you know something? I'm past caring.
No, we'll have to send Danny on him. But
no, I was just going to say, Danny. Right, Danny should have taken legal action after what happened to him.
Well, I think he's. You know, I'm not going to speak. You know, but I think he's. You know, he is talking to people, isn't he? About.
Yeah, but I think it's got. I think you got 6 months to do it.
Have you? Yeah. It's a bit like defamation. If you don't hit them with defamation quick, you basically the clock starts ticking, and if it runs out. Look, Alan, mate, I didn't know whether Alan was Rambo or he's in Home Alone. Do you know? It was either Home Alone or Rambo. Brilliant.
I was getting worried.
I know you were, Paul. I saw your face. I was just thinking, what's he going to pull out next? Yeah, this is a Glock 17 pistol. and here's a Remington and here's a Desert Eagle.
Yeah, you know I mean? You know? And if that don't do it, the 50 cal.
Yeah. Mate.
Hey, Alan, if you're watching, you had me worried last night. I got to tell you.
Alan, get him more worried. Do it again. Get the Remington shotgun out next time.
Oh dear, that was funny. Yeah, it was funny, to be fair.
It was great, but
no, I mean, I'm really enjoying it. What I do need to get on there, I need some protagonists, mate. I need some lefties on there. You know, to come on and
they won't come, Paul.
Of course they won't, because they got no bloody argument.
My self-defense instructor that I was with today, he's basically said to me, he says, you should get the lefties on. I says, Michael, they're not going to come on.
They won't come on.
They're not going to come on. They're not going to come on. And that's another thing. I mean, you know, this guy, this mate of mine, I used to do martial arts with him years ago, right? And he's got 2 autistic kids. One of them is very profoundly autistic. The other one's slightly better, but they've both got autism. And he's passionate about getting solutions to autism. And I thought, and he said to me, he says, Richard, is this something Advance UK could look at? And I think it's something Advance UK should look at, because 1 in 28 kids are autistic now. 1 in 28, Paul. Yeah. And, you know, you look at the people that are successful that are autistic, you know, Elon Musk, openly autistic. There's many other people in you know, really, really prominent roles. And I'm not going to name them just in case they sue me for saying they're autistic, whether or not. But there's a lot of people, you look at them and go, yeah, he's probably, you know, he's a bit different, just a bit different, you know. And these kids are lovely kids. And, you know, and the family are a lovely family. And they really need help. And Michael won't mind me saying this. They're struggling. They're struggling because Michael had to give up his business. You know, he's a full-time carer for his kids. His wife's a full-time carer. And there's so little help for them, Paul. And it's absolutely heartbreaking. You can see the strain. And what, you know, I'm going around doing martial arts with him a couple of times a week for a couple of hours a day. And that's his respite. He's getting sort of out of the house and be able to beat the crap out of me. And, you know, it's helping him. But I think these sort of things are things that a political party like Advance could take on board and say, we need to do something about this, because it's all right. You know, everybody's doing all the immigration stuff, the global warming stuff and all that sort of stuff. But who's talking about the things that would seem like small issues to people who aren't involved in it?
Oh, Richard, I couldn't agree more with you. I mean, the thing is, we just got to walk before we can run, I guess.
Well, yeah, that's true, but it doesn't mean that you can't show some willing and say, yeah, do you know what? That's something we'll look at. And I think, you know, I'm going to bring that to other people in the college. I'm going to hopefully, when I get a chance, speak to Ben about it, speak to David about it, because it is, you know, it is something, and it's not something that you're going to do without a reward. If you take this chalice up and you run with it, then basically you're going to get all those people. 1 in 28 families now are affected by this. You're going to get those families voting for the party without having to talk about left or right or anything.
I can't highlight any of the chat tonight, guys, because Richard's got control of it. But there's a good one from My Brighton there. Donald Trump to investigate the BBC over doctored speech footage. They effed around. Now they're about to find out. Oh, I hope so.
For some reason, Paul, I can't get to the bottom of the chat myself at the minute. I'm not sure what's going on. It's not letting me get to the bottom, so I've got to wait until that pops up. What time's that on? Do you know? Because I'm only at 9:14 at the minute. Oh, it is 9:14. Yeah, it is 9:14. Where was that, Paul?
That was at 9:20.
9:20. Okay. For some reason, I'm not getting past. I don't know what's going on with my computer, but my computer's saying it's 9:14 at the minute. So I'll just have to wait until it pops up. So, and it was about the BBC, yeah?
Yeah.
BBC News.
Hi, Sharon.
There's some more supers here. I mean, I tell you what, Thomas has done us such a favour tonight, Paul, because we're getting supers coming in left, right, and centre here. So the grift's on. The grift's on, guys. Let's do it. Let's do this tonight. So Sharon, I love Richard's channel. It really helps me. You see that, Paul? She loves my channel.
Yeah.
She loves your channel. She loves my channel.
Richard, you're not nicking my #1 contributor, so forget it.
Well, look, it looks like it's happened, Paul. I mean, she's loving my channel tonight. Sharon, thanks for that. Thanks for that. We can share, Paul. We can share.
Yeah, we'll share, yeah.
Sugar Sweetie, £2. Thanks very much for that. Eddie Lee, Trump should take BBC to the cleaners. Is that the one you're talking about?
No.
It's a different one. Yeah. So let's have a look what else we've got in here.
Right, that would just be. Oh, that would be.
Well, why not?
Wouldn't it?
Why not?
Why not?
Why can't he take the BBC to the cleaners? And there's another story. I'm going to break it tomorrow on my breakfast show. But there's another story about the BBC, and again, it's even worse. It's even worse than what they've done to Trump, and it's what they've done in Israel. And it is
I saw that. Yeah.
Shocking. I've got the video clip of it, and I'm going to do that at 7 o'clock tomorrow morning. That's going to be one of the stories that we're going to run with. And by the way, thanks for everybody that's getting up 7 o'clock in the morning and dragging themselves out of bed, getting themselves a coffee or a cup of tea. Oh, hold on a minute. I'm loving that one. Yeah, Bree, you are so right. Is she one of yours, Paul? Is she one of yours? Don't think so. No, listen, we love all our viewers from all our subscribers, all our viewers, all our regulars, and everybody that contributes. Because honestly, like, we wouldn't have a channel if it wasn't for the people watching it, Paul.
No.
Did I tell you what I did the other morning on the breakfast show? So I got up, was all ready to go,
and you forgot to put some clothes on.
No, I wasn't. I'm not that bad. I'm not. Right. Listen, I don't want it to be. I mean, that was a bad enough horror movie when we had Rachel from Accounts behind us. But no, I put my clothes on. I set everything up, started talking. I was doing great, but the comments were really off. I was just thinking, these comments aren't really in context of what I'm talking about. But not worry about it. And they kept saying things like, "Is he here yet?" And I'm going, "Who here yet?" So I carried on. Anyway, 20 past 7. My wife phones me. She says, "When are you going live?" I said, "I've been live for 20 minutes, you silly woman. What are you talking about?" Looked up, forgot to press the live
button. Oh,
20 minutes. 20 minutes of a show. And the people said, but you know the thing, this is how loyal.
They were still there.
They were talking to each other. Actually, do you know what? I've noticed when I'm doing a live, they talk to each other about all sorts of stuff more than they do listen to my live.
That's brilliant.
That's what it's all about. It's community, Paul. It was just a test. It was. Listen, I did it deliberately, guys. I'm not that stupid. It was just a test to see who'd stay with me, and all the ones that stayed with me. There you go. You proved your true worth.
Well, next week, all being well, I'm going to be bringing the viewers live from Poland, and I think the viewers hopefully will find that really, really interesting. There you go. See, look.
There you go, Paul. Aaron. There you go.
Bless her. So yeah, hopefully that'll be good.
Yep.
I'm hoping that Danny's coming with me. I'm not 100% sure yet, but I'm hoping he's coming with us.
Yep.
And yeah, you know, we'll bring a show from out there as well. Should be
Oh,
good.
that'd be great. That'd be great. I mean, that'd be great. I mean, I'm not going to Poland. It's, you know, it's just, yeah, it's too
I
far.
want
and
to
too
go.
cold.
I
Yeah.
want to go to Auschwitz, but it's about a 3-hour journey from Warsaw, I believe.
Yeah. I mean,
John
it's
Capola.
are you going with are you going with Tommy, Paul, or are you going on your own? Or?
I'll be no. I'm leaving from Alicante, aren't I?
Yeah, yeah.
So
yeah.
I'll see him out there.
Yeah, you see him out there because I mean, I think that would be good to get a. Do you know what? It'd actually be good to do some footage from Auschwitz. You know, because I think people need to. Do you know? I still, even now, right? I still find it really difficult watching any of that footage.
Yeah.
From the concentration camps, I can't watch it. It's a bit like the stuff from October the 7th. I can't watch that footage. I've watched it once, and I can't watch it again. Some of the stuff. I mean, I think I saw the full video on most of that full video that's been put out there, and I just, for the life of me, this is what really completely fries my brain. How people can walk around waving Palestinian flags in my country.
Unbelievable.
After those monsters did that. And look, and then comparing normal warfare in an urban environment against a terrorist organization with an absolute genocidal massacre that was carried out by Hamas.
Yeah.
For the life of me, Paul, I cannot understand the mentality. And that's why if I've ever been in, anytime I've been in London, if I've managed to wander into a Hamas march, it's always gone a little bit bandy.
I would just need to stick. I've got no interest in going back to London at all.
No.
At all.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Do you know what? That's actually really good advice there for knife defense. Getting a backpack. I mean, I think, this is the whole thing. What I think in these sort of situations, and actually, do you know what I'm going to do, Paul? I'm gonna see if I can grab this video of this guy. Yeah. So if you just talk to the guys a minute, just want to see if I can grab this video, because this is the guy that actually intervened in the attack.
Heroes, mate. Heroes.
Total hero. I want to try and find this video, guys. Just bear with me. Hold on.
There's a slight twist to that tale as well, because it turns out that the train driver I knew quite well back in the day. He's a Fulham supporter like myself, and I knew him well back. I haven't seen him for probably 25 years, but yeah.
The train driver, you knew the train driver,
credited with helping to save multiple.
We'll just stop now. Again, this is a very, very unusual show for me. I've played Channel 4. I've read The Guardian. I've put the Scum newspaper in my channel.
You're going to have a shower.
I know, I am. I am sorry about all this mainstream media stuff, guys. But actually, we need to see this guy, right? We need to see this guy. Now, as far as I know, this guy was a Muslim. As far as I know, this guy that tackled that crazy man on the train was a Muslim. But you know what? He's a man that saved a lot of British lives. He's a hero. Yeah. He's a hero, right? So, and we need to pray for Sammy that he pulls through. Because same as the line of Millwall, it's exactly what Roy did. Exactly the same thing. Exactly the same thing. And others, my mate Steve Gallant that tackled the guy in London Bridge, life sentence prisoner, murdered someone, right? Did a life sentence while he was in prison. Steve Gallant's story is an amazing story. I was telling people about the other night. Steve Gallant killed a guy in a fight, right? He got life in prison. He did 17 years. When he went to prison, he said to himself, and he wasn't a Christian, he says to himself, I'm going to take that little tiny verse from the Bible that says, turn the other cheek. While he was in prison, he didn't have one fight. Steve was a tough guy. He didn't have one fight in prison. But you know what he did? He did boxing, Muay Thai, and Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu all the way through his time in prison. And when it came to that attack on London Bridge, and that crazy jihadi had already killed a couple of people, he was ready. And I said to him, I said, Steve, I believe God prepared you for that moment in your life. Same as Christian Craighead, the guy in Nairobi that took out the jihadists in the hotel. So I think the point is, this rail worker guy, he saved goodness knows how many lives. Goodness knows how many lives this man saved, right? And the respect that I've got for people like that that actually take action and do something. Because when you see these attacks, it's always one man or two men that step up and do something that make the difference between life and death before the cops get there.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's just play this little clip.
Worker who has been credited with helping to save multiple lives during Saturday's mass stabbing on a train from Doncaster to London has been named as Samir Zitouni. British Transport Police say the 48-year-old is in hospital, critically unwell but stable. His family have said he has always been a hero. Anthony Williams was charged yesterday with 10 counts of attempted murder. A worker.
So, you know, and again, you know, what's he going to get? What credit's he going to get? He's going to be forgotten. That guy's going to be forgotten about in a year's time, you know, and he needs to get the recognition for what he's done for.
Absolutely.
You know? But
absolutely. Let's pray that he gets well.
Yeah, cop watcher. That nearly came out very, very wrong there. Anyway, member for 18 months. Hi, Paul. Hi, Richard. Good to see you, man. Good to see you. I tell you what, where's Thomas? Is Thomas still in the chat?
Not sure, mate.
Him.
Yeah, I think he's got to boil his own head, I think.
Boil his head. Let's have a look what we got here. Well done, Samir. Absolutely. Samir should get the George Cross. Absolutely agree with that. And again, guys, pray for Samir. Pray that he makes a full recovery. Right, I'm going to try and find that chat now, Paul, because I seem to have caught up. So what time was that chat? You say 20 past, was it, yeah?
I think it was, yeah.
23, 20, 23, 23, 22, 21, 20. It's a lot of 21. 20. There's so many in these. You see these chats, Paul? There's so many in them, isn't there?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
It's absolutely. Patrick's Christie's told Liam Tufts everyone wants to interview Tommy, but they won't. That's an interesting one, actually. Can't find that, mate. Anyway, there's someone giving Thomas a little bit of a talking to. Still trying to find this BBC one.
Great, nice one, Kim.
Lovely. Can't find it, Paul. What was it saying again?
Do you know what, Richard? I can't bloody remember, to be honest with you now. Yeah.
Don't matter. Well, guys, listen, thanks everybody for coming on. I think we'll do this again soon, Paul, where I run the chat, because I think I've done a pretty good job tonight. I think GB News couldn't have done a better production job.
I reckon Patrick Christie's needs to up his game if he wants to stop you from taking his job.
Oh, I think so. Absolutely.
Or who was the other one? That boy that got kicked out of.
Mike Graham.
Graham.
Well, what I was thinking, Paul, because of you being a bit senior to me and all that sort of stuff, you could take Eamon Holmes' job.
Yeah.
Right. You could. They'll keep the wheelchair for you.
Yeah.
You'll get the wheelchair. That'll come with the job.
Me Benidorm buggy.
Your Benidorm buggy. That'll be it. You could probably even do it from Benidorm. So you can do the Eamon Holmes. I don't know who's going to do the blonde bimbo sidekick, because he always has a blonde bimbo sidekick. Maybe Danny could do that.
Danny in a wig could be.
Danny in a wig.
Yeah, Danny in a wig can be Michelle.
Michelle, yep.
Who else could we have? Oh, let's not go down there. Let's not spoil the end. Let's not spoil.
No, let's not spoil. No, because that could go very badly wrong very quickly, Paul.
Yeah.
Pete would, yeah.
Never. What do they say? Never work with children and animals or Richards
or Dicks. So what you're saying?
Dicks, yeah, Dicks, yeah.
Right. Okay. What we got here? We've got another super chat in. Tell you what. Do you know what? I think we're doing all right at Grifton tonight, Paul.
Yeah,
it's been
not
all right.
bad at all, mate.
Done a pretty good grift.
Thank you, Ian.
Today's show brought to you by Paul's sponsor, Colgate.
By the way, Ian, I'm going to have a word with you after the end of this show. You know why.
I'm sure he's worried, Paul. I'm sure he's really worried.
You know why. Top lad he is, but he nearly called me out tonight.
Right, guys, well, listen. Did he get you, Paul? Yeah.
Oh, when the show's finished, I'll show you.
Look at that one. That's lovely. God bless England. God bless this stream. Great show. Bye for now. Well, I think that's a hint for us to get out of here, Paul. I think our job's done. Guys, everyone that watched tonight, a couple of thousand people watching. Hope you enjoyed it. It was a good news show. It was there's Ian Nicholson.
He knows that.
He's got you. He's got you. So thanks to all the moderators. Thanks to everybody that commented. And let's just be happy that we've got
thanks to Thomas.
Thanks to Thomas. Thanks to Thomas. Thomas, you made the show, mate. You were the
Thomas.
wild card. Yeah. Few beers on you, Thomas. 16 super chats now, Thomas. That's brilliant.
All the best, everyone. We'll see you soon.
There's a couple more to do here, Paul.
Oh.
So we got that one by Ian. There's another one there.
Richard's got his new professional outro going on here. Click the button. Yes, good one. Yeah, click the like button. Yeah, thank you.
That's it. Actually, guys, I tell you what, in all seriousness, right? If you're on my channel and you don't know who Paul Thorpe is, don't go and follow him and don't subscribe to his channel. No, subscribe to Paul because he hasn't got enough subscribers. Go and subscribe to Paul's channel, right? And if you're on Paul's channel and you really don't like me, then do subscribe to my channel and you can just rip the mick out of me like Thomas did earlier on. And it means I can be on the grift even more. If you subscribe to my channel, it means I can grift even more than I'm grifting now. So not the Richard Inman one, because that's grift proof. I don't get any money for that one. Go on to Counter Media UK, hit the big subscribe button, hit the notification button, and you'll get loads more trash TV like this whenever you want it.
Oh, by the way, before we go, I'm sorry, Danny in Spain. I've got to tell you this, right? I rang him up last week. I said, we're going to Warsaw. He said, I've never been to the Midlands. I said, no, Warsaw, Danny. He said, Walsall, that's by Birmingham, isn't it? He thought we was going to Walsall. And I'm not lying. Danny, you know it's true.
I know you're not, Paul. I know you're not. I know.
Oh,
listen, well, go to Walsall as well. Just keep them happy. But then you have to fly back to the UK, you know. It's too near Birmingham for me, Walsall. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But, right, guys. Well, listen, great.
Love you and leave you. See you soon, everyone.
Thanks very much. Don't forget, Where Are the Men of England? It's in the description of my 2 videos. Go on, download it. We're at 29. I want to get up to 20 by the end of the week. And then when Paul does his video, and we'll see if we get Tommy to share it and a few others, maybe we'll get to number 1 by the end of next week. See you all soon, guys. Take it easy. See ya.